are the backup details and faculty details, guys. Right. Yeah, you will get day 8 and day 9 backup videos also very soon. Spring, guys. NTSP 715. Yeah, for laptop people, uh, copying is the issue. Copy issue is there. Copy operation issue is there. It's not from our side, guys. From Zoom itself, some technical issue is there. We are working out. Our admins are working out to resolve the problem. Once is resolved, I will let you know. Okay, laptop. Those are happening from laptop. For remaining people, I hope you are able to copy. Those are connecting from desktop, mobiles, and certain laptops also not a issue. But in 1-2 category of laptops only issue is coming. Am I right, guys? Please confirm my statement. Okay. Josh Vijay, yesterday's file is updated in this one. Google Classroom is will be created once formalities are completed. Meeting ID is changed. Meeting ID is changed. Okay, guys. Yeah, books will be shared in the middle of the class. PDF will be shared in the middle of the session. Okay, mostly tomorrow it will be changed, guys. Okay. Nikhil Chava, if you are a first class, nothing to worry. All backup videos are given. Still programming is not started. You can happily continue in this batch. But you have to watch backup videos urgently. So yesterday we discussed about what? Spring definition, guys. What is the Spring definition? Tell me. Spring is an open source, lightweight, loosely coupled, non-invasive, aspect-oriented JWE or application framework to develop all kinds of Java JWE application by getting abstraction on multiple Java JWE technologies. Why open source, guys? Spring is free and you can happily get the source code of the Spring, guys. We can happily get the source code of the Spring. Okay. So even Java is open source, guys. That's why open source. Lightweight. Now they are not giving in the form of zip file, guys, having less size. But earlier they used to give Spring framework in the form of zip file having less size. And we just need JVM and jars of Spring to start the development of Spring application. To execute most of the Spring applications, we don't need heavyweight web server and application server softwares. And Spring supplies its own containers, guys, its own Spring containers, which are nowhere related to Servlet JSP containers and which are again lightweight. 1-2 predefined classes will be there, guys. You just create object for those predefined classes. Happily Spring containers are ready. Happily Spring containers are that much ready, that much lightweight. You want to start Spring container in the middle of the method. Yeah, you write that 1 line, 2 lines in the middle of the method. You want to start Spring container in the main method. You write that line in the main method. Got it? Loosely coupled, guys. Okay, if the degree of dependency is less between two components, then they are called loosely coupled. If more, then they are called tightly coupled. Spring modules are loosely coupled, guys, because we can use our choice one multiple modules together. Okay. Together. one or two modules together. Come on. As per our requirement in application development. Okay, that makes Spring as loosely coupled. Okay. Spring libraries are given modules wise. So, so in which module you are interested? In which module you are interested? Okay, that module related libraries only you can add. There's no need of adding all modules libraries, though you are using 1, 2 modules, guys. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Next one, Spring Framework is designed in such a fashion. You can use Spring alone to develop the entire application, or you can integrate Spring with what? Other frameworks and other technologies as part of application development. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Yeah. Non-invasive, guys. What do you mean by non-invasive? When you are developing classes, when you are developing classes in any Spring application, okay, these classes, you can develop them as ordinary classes. Ordinary classes means what? Without extending from Spring API frameworks, without implementing Spring API interfaces. Got it, guys? Okay, what's the advantage? Tomorrow you didn't like Spring, you liked some winter framework or summer framework or some other framework, right? You can happily take your ordinary classes having business logics or other logic, and you can start executing them in other framework. It's like a rented house, guys. You got a job in Hyderabad city. You moved to rented house in Hyderabad city. Okay, you bored with Hyderabad, you bored with your company, you applied for another job, that job has come in Noida. Okay, since we are having rented house, you can vacate this house and you can start living what? Another rented house in Noida. Yes or no? Na? Are you tightly coupled with what? The house where you are currently living? No. It's like joining company without bond. How much you are comfortable, those many days only you stay with the framework. The day you feel some other framework is better, take your classes, take your logics, which are there in ordinary classes, okay, and start executing them in another framework. Simply start executing them in another framework. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yeah, aspect oriented, guys. Yeah, the important logics that are minimum to complete the task in application development are called primary logics. The additional optional configurable logic. Configure means whenever you want to apply, whenever you want, we can remove them. Such logics are called secondary logics. Okay, transfer money, withdraw, deposit, opening account, closing account, all these are what? Primary logics. Logging, auditing, security, all these are what? Secondary logics. What is the problem with OOP style programming, guys? In business methods of any class, we try to mix up primary logics and secondary logics. Here only primary logic, here only secondary logics. What is the problem in that process, guys? No reusability for secondary logics. Why? Same logging logic you are writing, same security logic you are writing in multiple methods of multiple classes. Is there any reusability for secondary logics, guys? No. There is no clean separation between primary logics and secondary logics in business method because they are mixed up. Because they are mixed up. Come on. Are you understanding my statement? Next. Code looks clumsy. Clumsy means zigzag. Are there only primary logic, there only secondary logic. Because of no clean separation, code becomes very clumsy or not. Okay, next. Sometimes you want to enable secondary logic, sometimes we want to disable secondary logic. Whenever you try to do that, you have to open the source code of classes and business method. In that process, other code will be disturbed or not? Definitely, guys. Okay. To overcome this problem, what do you do? AOP style programming, you have to go. AOP means aspect oriented programming. What it says, guys, mix primary and secondary logic, but not at development time, at runtime. What OOP style programming says, or if you mix at development time, they will be executed together at runtime. What AOP style? Don't mix up at development time. Development time, you develop them individually, separately, and ask AOP enabled software to mix them dynamically on demand as needed. On demand as needed. One beautiful example I have given. Drinking tea from outside market, normal tea stall, is like OOP style programming. When you order tea, he will give everything together: milk, decoction, sugar, ilachi powder, ginger paste, all together he will give together. You like it or not like it, you have to consume like that only, right? But OOP style, AOP style programming is like what? Five-star hotel. Five-star hotel. You ordering tea in five-star hotel. When you order tea in five-star hotel, what happened? Milk separate, decoction separate, sugar crystals separate, ilachi powder separate, ginger paste separate. Everything comes separately, right? But as a customer or as a servant, before consuming, he will mix them dynamically as needed or not. Suppose your body is having food allergy on ginger paste, you can avoid it. You like more sweetness in the tea or coffee, you can add more sugar crystals, right? So customization is possible just before drinking as needed. Yes or no? No? Yes, guys. So that's why a lot of advantages are there with AOP or not. Clean separation between primary and secondary logics is possible. Code is not clumsy. The modification done in secondary logic does not affect primary logic, vice versa. Make secondary logics as the reusable logics. Can enable or disable secondary logic without disturbing what? Primary logics. And it is industry standard. Okay, guys. Lastly, what I said, guys, Spring Boot is Spring plus plus, nothing but Spring minus XML configurations, embedded servers, embedded databases, and auto configuration. Yes, today I'll spend few minutes on auto configuration. Then we will move to our Spring core module, guys. Okay. Right, guys. Spring Boot is equal to Spring plus plus, Spring and many thing else. Got it? Okay, guys. Now tell me, what is embedded server? Yeah, the server come along with the Spring Boot application. Server comes along with the Spring Boot application itself. That means there is no need of arranging server separately. Server separately. Listen, earlier we used to purchase a TV and stabilizer separately. TV separately, stabilizer separately. Yes or no? Na? But nowadays, when you purchase TV, when you purchase AC, are you purchasing stabilizers, guys? No, we are not purchasing because companies are saying we are giving embedded stabilizers, inbuilt stabilizers. Yes or no? Na? Yes or no? Na? But still, the salespeople, they try their level best to give stabilizer to to attach one stabilizer for you, right? Because the we got people are giving more commission to sales boys. Arey Baba, sell it kind of thing, right? So don't get into trap at least as an engineer. Don't get into trap at least as an engineering guy. Remaining people, I don't know, but as engineers, you should not get into that trap. Okay, guys. And moreover, in our houses nowadays, MCBC are there. Circuit breakers are there, MCBs, right? Any high voltage circuit will be breakdown automatically. MCP is there and built-in stabilizers are there. Right? Got it? Got my? Okay. Okay. It will trip the supply whenever high voltage or low voltage comes, guys. Same thing even for refrigerator, TV, for everything. Got it now, boss? Right. So be careful while purchasing electronic products. Embedded DB, guys. The database software comes along with the Spring Boot itself, application itself. That means there is no need of arranging, okay, database software separately. Okay, guys, listen. See the beauty of Spring Boot, guys. If you have IDE, which is having support for Spring Boot, you can start the development. You can start the development. At least development you can complete, boss, using embedded database, embedded servers. In real execution, production environment, definitely have to use real database and real servers. But in the development environment, without arranging Tomcat separately, WebLogic separately, Oracle separately, you can start using what? Embedded servers and embedded DBs. So nice, na boss. So your setup is minimum setup. With minimum setup, you can complete the development. But after releasing project, anyhow, they will use what? Separate servers and separate databases. Got it now, boss? So that means developer need not to have multiple software with him, guys. Just Eclipse, who is having support for Spring Boot, is more than sufficient or not? Okay. Auto configuration. Auto configuration. It's a big discussion, guys. What's the use of Tomcat server? Your website is running 24/7. Ayush Anand? Yes, running 24/7. That means there is someone taking requests continuously, linking those requests to your website and web components continuously, executing web components continuously, gathering results given by web component and sending back to browser as response continuously. Tell me, who is doing those works, Ayush Anand? There should be one software doing all these activities, na? Yeah, who is doing that work? Server software, nothing but web server software. And Tomcat is the example for web server. Tomcat is the example for web server. Are you getting my point? Right, guys. Okay. Spring Boot applications are coming with built-in Tomcat servers, guys. Okay. Yeah, if you want, you can use other servers. But by default, it is coming with what? Built-in Tomcat server. If you want, you can use other databases also. By default, it comes with H2 database. What, guys? Okay. Built-in Tomcat. Built-in H2 database. H2DB. H2 is a database software. Right, guys. Auto configuration. Listen, guys. Listen, this is very interesting. Earlier, what I said, guys, you have to take a class. You have to mark that class. Come on. Okay, built. Anand, you under tau you can configure, Jetty you can configure, but by default Tomcat will come. By default Tomcat will come. I like Oracle, MySQL. H2 is also one database software name, Ra Babu. Okay. Right. Now, everyone listen, guys. While, right. Listen, everyone, listen. When I'm teaching something, try to take it as it is without mixing with your knowledge. It's my humble request. It's my humble request. Hand over your empty brain to me and try to listen my statement as it is. I say something, you will try to mix with your knowledge and you will confuse. In that confusion, you never listen further statements. Again, you will ask statements on this. It becomes khichdi of your brain. You hand over your brain as if you don't know anything in Spring. Then it will be good for me, it will be good for you, and it will be good for Spring also. It's a suggestion. You can ignore the suggestion, boss. Otherwise, some people trying to show their talent in the chat boxes. That na, this na. Okay. That na, this na. Everything comes. There's an order of launching each discussion. There's an order of studying each topic. Please stop showing your talent in the chat boxes. Please hand over your empty brain so that I can introduce everything in a proper order. You're most welcome to ask the questions. Okay, guys. But try to stick to the current topic. Right, boss. Okay, now tell me. My target audience is first-time learners who don't know anything of Spring. Below average first-time learners are my target audience. Fine. So the people who knows little bit Spring Boot, I think you have to cooperate with others. You have to cooperate with me. Then only your knowledge becomes 100%. Otherwise, I say something, you try to put something, and both will be mixed up, and it becomes khichdi of learning. So don't do that mistake. Right, guys? Try to listen what I am trying to say. Instead of why it is not like this, I know this now, why it is not. Everything happens, but it's the order of learning. Wait for right time to learn right topic. Fine. Right, guys? Everyone, please. Auto configuration, boss. So far, what, guys? If you want to make any Java class as Spring Bean, you have to take the class, you have to mark the class either with a bean tag or @ component annotation. Then you have to inform to container, take this class, make it as a Spring Bean. In that process, Spring container loads the class, creates the object, manages the object. Whenever need is not there, it will destroy the object. Come on, guys. This is the basic story, right? But Spring Boot is more intelligent now, boss. Spring Boot is inspired from robot. Spring Boot, Spring Robot. Got it? Robot means self-intelligent, right? It has got a lot of artificial intelligence. It can learn things by experience. It can take the decisions quickly, right? Spring Boot specialty, based on the libraries you add to the class path. Nothing but jar files you add to the class path. It will pick up important classes of those jar files, makes them as Spring Beans automatically. Okay, makes them as Spring Beans automatically. You need not to configure certain classes as Spring Beans explicitly by using what? Tags or annotation. That is the beauty of auto configuration, boss. Beauty of auto configuration. That means you are trying to make 100 classes as Spring Beans in Spring application manually, one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, in that one, 70 classes are ready-made classes, predefined classes given by Spring. Only 30 are yours. Okay, in Spring Boot, you have to focus on only 30 classes, and remaining 70 classes automatically become Spring Beans in Spring Boot environment. Don't you think it's a great feature, guys? Don't you? How it will do, sir? That is called self-intelligence, Rabab. That is called opinionated defaults. Opinionated defaults, right? Based on the jars you are adding, it will identify, this fellow is ready to develop website. For website, what are the things required? Minimum things required. Let's take those classes, make them as Spring Beans. Self-intelligence, Ra Babu. It's something like this, guys. Someone got up early in the morning, gone to salon, trimmed the beard, done hair cutting, iron the formal shirt and formal pant, polished the shoe, and started going out. Do you do do you really think you should tell to everyone I am going to interview? You can guess easily, right? Formal dress, polishing shoe. Okay, trimming the beard means what? I can confidently say is going for interview, right? You need not to tell I'm going to interview without asking, without he asking for your wishes. You will say all the best, Gora. Aisa no na? Are you getting my point, guys? Similarly, based on the jars that you are adding, modules that you are adding to project, Spring Boot come to one conclusion. This guy is in the mood of developing distributed application. This guy in the mood of developing standalone application. This guy interested in so-and-so database connectivity. Accordingly, whatever classes have to become Spring Beans, okay, they will become Spring Beans automatically because of this feature called what? Auto configuration. Don't you think it will reduce your job like 80-90%, guys? Already Spring is simplifying your life, and auto configuration feature, embedded server, embedded database feature simplifies life of the programmer more and more, or not? That's why I say, guys, that's why developing application project using Java language is like washing clothes with hands. Washing clothes with hands. Got it, guys? Without applying any soap or detergent. Manual washing, okay, organic washing kind of thing. Everything you should take care. Your hands will pain, lot of time is required, right? Okay. Working with the technologies is like what? Washing clothes with the hands, but by taking the support of what? Either detergent powder or soap. Either detergent powder or soap. That is working with the technologies, guys. Working with Spring is like, H2 is one database software name like Arakil, my dear Prashant. Be on time, be on time. H2 is one database software name. How Arakil is there. Similarly, H2 is also one name of the database software. Since you are hearing for the first time, don't confuse. Okay, guys. Now listen. Okay. Now listen. Uh, okay. Spring is like what? Spring is like what? Washing machine semi-automated. Semi-automated. Semi-automated means what? Maximum things it will take care, guys, but still you have to give some instructions manually. You have to operate this one manually. Got it? We have to set many things. Semi-automated washing machine is like Spring Framework. Spring Boot, because of auto configuration and other things, guys. Fully automated washing machine. You keep the clothes, you give power supply, give detergent and press 1 2 buttons. It will automatically program how much time the spindle has to be rotated. Once the drying is over, how much time you should spend for what? Sorry, once washing is over, how much time it should spend for drying. Everything it will take care dynamically. Everything it will take care dynamically. Once washing is over, automatically switches to drying mode. Once drying is over, automatically big beep sound will come, or voice message will come. Okay, based on that, we will remove the clothes and we'll keep directly in the cupboard. No need of drying outside. No need of drying them outside. So Spring Boot is like fully automated washing machine or not, guys? Fully automated washing machine or not? Okay. Based on the okay. Kunanjay, if we develop Spring-based web application, in Spring also we need server support. Only for web applications, we need server support. That's why I used yesterday. Most of the Spring applications can be executed without servers, right? Most of the, I said not all of the. Mrityunjay. Based on Spring libraries, jar files that are added to class path. That are added to class path. That are added to class path. The Spring Boot automatically makes automatically make certain Spring API supplied predefined classes as Spring Beans by collecting them from jars. By collecting them from jar files. By collecting them from jar files. Okay. Okay. Right, boss? I think you got what is auto configuration. Auto configuration makes your life simple, guys. Okay. Project development using core Java, nothing but Java language. Yeah, all companies started moving to Spring Boot, guys. Only maintenance projects are there in Spring. All new projects are happening in Spring Boot. That's why our main focus will be on Spring Boot only. Few days we learn Spring. Okay, well, after that we will focus everything in Spring Boot, guys. Every module we'll try to learn in Spring Boot angle only. That is future, that is life, that is where money is there. And entire microservice programming we have to do in Spring Boot. Got it now? Spring Boot is popular because of microservice architecture based application development. I'll explain that also, don't worry. Okay, project development using core Java. Okay, is like washing clothes. Yeah, one statement I want to give. Yeah, Spring MVC will be studied. Okay. Washing clothes with hands without soap. Okay. Project development using Java JWE technologies. Java JWE technologies. Array, MVC is the module name, Ra Babu. Spring Boot is covered means, listen, all modules will be covered in Spring Boot angle. Got it? Spring Boot MVC, Spring Boot Mail, Spring Boot Data JPA. Come on. And this, don't ask me, sir, Spring MVC covered. Covered, but in Spring Boot angle. Is that clear? Everything we learn, all modules, all popular modules of Spring, we will be learning in Spring Boot angle. Okay. Right, guys. Fine. Washing clothes. Tell me, guys, with soap. Okay. Next. Are soap is simplifying your life, Ra Babu. Come on. Okay. Project development using Spring framework is like Spring framework is only to make you understand this. Washing clothes using semi-automated washing machine. Semi-automated washing machine. Semi-automated washing machine. Project development using Spring Boot framework is like washing clothes using fully automated washing machine. Fully automated washing machine. Everyone got the clarity, my dear? Okay. Super, boss. Yeah. Shall I start Spring core module, guys? Shall I start Spring core module? Yes, guys. Base module for other modules, guys. For other modules. If this module is used, alone in application development, okay, then we can develop only standalone applications. Okay, for all other. Okay, if this module is alone in application development, then we can develop only standalone applications of Spring. Right, Moss? This module can be used along with other modules like MVC, REST, okay, and etc. to develop Spring-based web applications, distributed application. That I clearly explained all the modules. Okay, what is web application? What is distributed application? The people who missed initial classes, please start watching videos, right? I have given crystal clear clarity on what is the difference between web application and distributed application. Tell me, what is this? What is this? Client server application, right? What is this? Server to server application. I hope you convinced that. Browser to Flipkart, web application. Flipkart to PayPal, distributed application. PayPal to Visa, distributed application. Visa to SBI Bank, distributed application. Amazon to PhonePe, distributed application. PhonePe to SBI Bank. PhonePe to SBI Bank, distributed application. I hope everyone well connected, guys. Right, boss. To develop Spring-based web application, distributed applications, guys. Okay, now listen carefully. This module is given mainly for two major operations. Minor, many things are there, guys. Major operations. A, what is A? To supply Spring containers. To supply Spring containers. Spring containers. To supply two numbers, guys. Two number of containers are there. Spring is having two built-in containers, guys, which are called Spring containers. For okay, Spring Beans life cycle management. What the responsibility of Spring containers, guys? They will take care of Spring Bean life cycle management or not. What do you mean by life cycle management? Loading class, creating object, managing object, calling method, destroying object. All these things will be taken care by whom, guys? Spring containers, right? Birth to death, all activities will be taken care. This process is called life cycle management by container, right? Array, once you drop a kid in the hostel, hostel people are going to take care of study activities, day-to-day activities, while throughout the year or not. Once you drop a fish into aquarium, aquarium will take care of everything that is required for the survival of the fish or not. Similarly, once you give Java class to Spring container as Spring Bean, loading that class, creating object, okay, managing object, calling various methods on that object, disturbing destroying object, everything will be taken care by whom, guys? Spring container. Okay. Two major operations. What is that? Supplies. Spring Bean is not a Java bean. Spring Bean is a Java class with a business method having business logic. Is that clear? Don't keep your own theory. Nandini madam, H2 is the database software name like Oracle. It's an embedded database of Spring Boot application. Okay. Supply Spring containers for Spring Beans life cycle management. Next, guys. Okay. Provides dependency management. Okay. Provides the support for dependency management. Okay, guys. Dependency management. Shall we get into the next level discussion, guys? Okay, first, what is there? I'll explain both the points. Please be ready. Please be ready. Spring Bean is a Java class whose object is created and managed by Spring containers. Spring containers. Okay, listen. Spring containers are also called as IOC container. Why I will talk later. For the time being. Okay, guys. Okay. Whose object is created and managed by Spring containers, guys. Okay. Now listen, guys. Okay. Spring containers are lightweight container because they can be created and activated anywhere with simple lines of code. Simple lines of code. Spring gives okay two containers, guys. Spring gives two containers. Yeah. Okay, bean factory container. What, guys? First listen. Before questioning, first accepting the newness. Accepting the newness is most important before questioning reverse. Bean factory container, basic container. Number 2, application context container, advanced container. Advanced container. Got it? Okay. Application context container is equal to bean factory container plus plus. In fact, application context container is what? Extension of bean factory container, guys. Is the extension of bean factory container. Are you getting my point, guys? If you feel this is the bean factory circle, the second one is application context circle, guys. Bean factory container. Here is my application context container. Super, guys. Now listen, guys. Okay. Yeah, Spring containers are not alternate for servlet container comma JSP container. Are you understanding my statement, guys? What are the extra features we are having? Now, first of all, let's know what are the features that are there in Bean Factory. Guys, you have to change your attitude of learning, boss. First, let me explain what is there in Bean Factory. Then I can explain what extra features are there in what? Application context container. Right now, wait, at right time, I will introduce everything. Okay, guys. Understanding my statement, boss. There are not two types, two numbers of We use mostly application context container only. Industry standard container is application only. Okay. Spring containers are not alternate for servlet container and JSP containers. Okay. They are not alternate. They sound like that, but actually not. They sound like that. People confuse and feels like that, but actually not. Okay, guys. Right. I think other day we spent some time on what is container. We discussed container. What is container or not? Come on. What is container? Please, guys, attend classes regularly. Missing class is equal to crime. Doing crime. Missing class is not a crime, guys, but not reading the document of missed class is definitely crime. Please, when you miss the class, at least keep the good habit of reading the document. Those who joined lately, please keep the good habit of watching the videos. Daily I'm sharing the videos. Okay. Container is a software program who manages the whole life cycle of given resource from birth to death. Birth to death. Object creation to object destruction. Object creation to object destruction. Are you understanding my statement, guys? It's like aquarium for fishes, right? Okay. Spring containers are not alternate for this, guys. Okay, boss. Now listen. Spring containers are capable of Spring Bean life cycle management. Spring Bean life cycle management and also to perform dependency management on Spring Beans. Okay, first let's see life cycle management. Okay, Spring Bean life cycle management. Okay, Spring Bean life cycle management. Right. Once we give Java class to Spring container as Spring Bean or by marking as Spring Bean. What is that? Using bean tag or component annotation. Component annotation. The Spring container becomes ready, okay, to perform the following life cycle activities. The following life cycle activity. A. Loading Spring Bean class. Creating object. Calling life cycle methods. Okay. Managing the object. Come on. managing the object, destroying the object. Destroying the object. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Calling life cycle methods, guys. Okay. Calling life cycle method if there, if placed. Not compulsory, should be there every time, guys. Okay. All right. Christopher Annie, Spring containers are nowhere related to Servlet JSP containers, right? I clearly said. Now you are writing a message. It is built on the top of Servlet JSP container. Tell me, what should I do with you? What should I do with your common sense and presence of mind? Please, guys, focus. Loading Spring Bean class, creating object, calling lifecycle method, management of object. Okay, destroying the object. Everything will be taken care, my boss. Right, boss. Okay. Yeah, Spring Beans. Listen. These wordings exactly reflects in the coding. Don't relax. What I speak, what I use today will reflect in the coding. If you are having a wrong psychological feeling, theory separate, practical separate, you are gone. You are gone. At least in my mode of teaching, you are gone. Because first I build the concept, I will give the story of the concept, and same thing reflects in the coding. If you focus on concept, coding becomes easy. Okay. Spring Beans, dependency management. Spring Beans, dependency management, guys. Okay. Right, boss. Lots of people thinks that in Servlet fixed life cycle methods are there. In Spring also fixed life cycle methods are there. No. What methods you want to see them as life cycle method, you have to explicitly tell these are the life cycle method. Why, sir? Any class can become Spring Bean, right? When any class can become Spring Bean, is there any question of having fixed methods? Is there any possibility of having fixed methods? Are you understanding my statement? Okay, guys. This is one place. Some people who are having clarity about servlet, they are asking, sir, give me life cycle methods of Spring. Array, that's the beauty of Spring. Since you can make any Java class as what? Spring Bean. And Java, these classes are ordinary classes, nowhere related to Spring API dependent, right? You have to explicitly tell, hey, container, take these two methods as life cycle method, these three methods as life cycle method, this one method as life cycle method. You have to tell, otherwise no methods will become life cycle method automatically, because because ordinary Java classes without having dependency with the Spring API can become Spring Beans, right? Now, sir, Servlet is having fixed life cycle method. We'll have. Why? Because we cannot develop Servlet component without having Servlet API dependency. Since Servlet API dependency is there, there is a possibility of having fixed life cycle method, right? Are you getting my point, guys? I hope you are understanding. As of now, you remember Servlet lifecycle method names are fixed because Servlet component is Servlet API dependent. Spring Bean lifecycle method names are fixed and they are optional in the Spring Bean class. They are optional in the Spring Bean class because ordinary Java classes, POSO classes can be taken as Spring Beans. And Spring Beans need not to have dependency with the Spring API. Got it, guys? Got it, guys? Okay. Servlet lifecycle methods are method names, count, method names and count is fixed because Servlet component is Servlet API dependent. Servlet API dependent. Okay. Spring Bean lifecycle method names. Method names and count. Count is not fixed. Okay, fixed. Moreover, placing methods in lifecycle methods in Spring Bean is purely optional. Use purely optional. Are you getting my point? Because Spring Beans can be developed as POSO classes without having any dependency with Spring APIs. Without having any dependency with the Spring APIs. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. I hope you got it. At least the people who know Servlet lifecycle, they got the clarity. I'll talk more on it. Can you come back to this? Can you come back to this, please? Please, please. Open your brain. Stop mixing up your subject with my subject. Hand over your empty brain to me. Right, boss. Everyone, please come back. Okay. Listen, before I start Spring MVC module, Spring Boot MVC module, make sure that you are going to get knowledge of Servlet JSP. Otherwise, learning Spring MVC, Spring REST, microservices becomes very horrible. To start Spring learning, Advanced Java is not prerequisite. Servlet JSP is not prerequisite. With core Java knowledge, basics of JDBC, come on. You can start learning Spring. But before I start Spring Boot MVC, make sure that you got basics of Servlet JSP. Is that clear? Okay, very soon I will start those batches. Don't worry, you can do parallelly. Right, guys. Shall we get into the discussions now? Okay. It takes time, guys. Spring MVC takes time, don't worry. By that time, you can learn basics of it. Okay. Shall we get into the discussions, boss? Spring Beans dependency management. Okay. Now listen, guys. Assigning assigning one Spring Bean class object to. Okay, what is this? Dependent class object to another Spring Bean class object. Another Spring Bean class object, target class, is called, come on, is called dependency management. Dependency management. Are you getting my point, guys? Assigning one Spring Bean class object to another Spring Bean class object is called dependency management. Don't come to any conclusion. Please be with me. Be active. Please be with me, guys. The class are Spring Bean. Come on. That takes the support of other class or Spring Bean is called target class or main class. Target class or main class. Right, boss? The class or Spring Bean, okay, that acts as helper class to other target class or main class is called what is this? Dependent class, guys. Dependent class. Understanding my statement, guys? Example 1, Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart DTDC. Flipkart DTDC. Yeah. Tell me, guys, DTDC needs Flipkart. Flipkart needs DTDC. Who needs what, guys? Flipkart uses DTDC to deliver the product. Array, DTDC is what? Courier service company, ra babu. Desk to desk courier to deliver the products. Got it, my dear? Next, vehicle engine. Vehicle engine. Tell me, guys. Vehicle uses engine. Okay. For movement. For moving. Yes or no, guys? I hope you are able to understand what is target class, what is dependent class. Come on. I want to listen from your side. Okay. Cricketer, bat. Okay. Cricketer uses batting or uses bat while playing cricket game. Vehicle is not dependent on engine, ra babu. Think in reverse. Vehicle uses engine. That's why vehicle is the target class. Engine is the dependent class. Don't think in a reverse angle, boss. Okay. Tell me. Mobile phone charger. Mobile phone charger. Yeah. What is that? Mobile phone uses charger. Mobile phone uses charger to charge the battery. Are you understanding my statement, guys? I think you got the clarity, guys. Come on. Someone saying that, sir, Flipkart needs DTDC. Na? That's why DTDC is the target. Flipkart is the dependent. This is not the way to think. Reverse you have to think. Who is used, who is being used, dependent. Who is using other class is target. Who is using other class, target, guys. Okay. Yeah. Spring container performs. Okay. Dependency management on Spring Beans means okay, means after creating Spring Bean class objects, Spring Bean classes objects, the Spring container automatically assigns or gives okay dependent Spring Bean class object to target Spring Bean class object. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay, target Spring Bean class object. Listen, loading classes, creating object. Come on. Loading classes, creating object, managing object, destroying object is life cycle management. In this process, it identifies who is the target, who is dependent based on your instructions in what? XML file or annotation. Otherwise, it is not a got to know, na? The Flipkart class is target, DTD class is dependent. Somewhere you have to inform. Somewhere you have to inform. Somewhere you have to inform. Come on. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Somewhere you have to inform. Somewhere you have to give that clarity. Come on. Okay, either in XML file or annotation. It automatically assigns dependent class object to target class object. I will tell, guys. I will tell. If I give Flipkart class DTDC class to Spring container, what it will do, you know, it load both the classes, create the objects of both the classes, assigns DTD class object to target class object, manages both objects, calls lifecycle methods on both objects if at all supplied, and destroys both objects whenever need is there. Suppose you are in core Java. Who has to load both classes? You. Who has to create object of both classes? Come on, guys. You. ऐसा no na developer ra. Who has to assign dependent class object to target class object? You. Who has to manage object? You. Come on. Who has to unreference them to make them ready for garbage collection? You. Yes or no na? Core Java developer has to do. In Spring, everything is done by Spring container. That means making your life easy or not? Making your life easy or not? Come on. Spring container perform dependency management on Spring Beans. That means after creating Spring Bean class object, the Spring container automatically assigns or gives dependent Spring Bean class object to target Spring Bean class object. Everything is clear or not, guys? Okay. Right, guys. Flipkart class. DTDC class. DTDC class given to Spring containers. Let us assume Spring container. Yeah, it can be any Spring container, guys. Given to Spring container. Spring container runs directly or runs on the top of JVM. Yeah, without JVM, nothing, no line of Java will execute, Bob. Come on. Right. Number one, what Spring container will do? Yeah. Yeah. Loading of class, guys. B. Creating objects, guys. Both objects will be created. DTDC object. Flipkart object. Object. What is this, guys? This is object creation process. Right, guys. Next, it automatically assigns dependent class object to target class object. How does it know this is target, this is dependent? Okay, those instructions will be given to Spring container. Okay, tell me instructions from okay, XML file or annotations. Understanding my statement, guys? Otherwise, it is not a God, na? How does it know who is target, who is dependent, right? Okay. This will be assigned, guys. DTDC class object is assigned to Flipkart object. Flipkart object. Come on. For that purpose, Flipkart class should have a DTDC reference variable or not. Flipkart class should have a DTDC reference variable as has a property in the form of has a property guys. In the form of has a property, it should be there or not. That's why here also the DTDC reflects or not, guys. As an instance variable, Babu, it should be there as an instance variable, right? Composition kind of. Don't worry, we'll get into the coding. First, feel the concept. Next, what is there, guys? D. Managing object. Next, E. DTDC is not main, Babu. Flipkart is main. Flipkart is target class, Babu. Please, Naina. Flipkart needs DTDC, Naina. Naina means my dear brother, my dear son, kind of thing. Okay. Dependent class. After listening entire Ramayana, you should not ask me who is Sita, please. A, B, C, D, right, boss? Next. Right. Destruction of the objects. E. Once everything is done, guys, E and E. Destroying the objects. Right, guys. Yeah. Spring container loads both target and dependent classes. B. Spring container creates both target and dependent class Okay. Dependent class objects. C. Spring container. Spring container assigns or injects dependent class object to target class object. D. Okay, spring container manages both target and dependent Spring Bean class objects. Both target and dependent Spring Bean class objects. Okay. And calls. Okay. Life cycle methods on those objects if available. If available. If available. Next. Right, guys. Spring container destroys both target and dependent Spring Bean class objects. Convinced, guys? Convinced or not? Okay. Okay. Spring application, guys. That means your life is going to become more simple in the coming days. Did you realize that? Did you realize that? Okay. You just need to tell core Java application. Core Java application for the same requirement. For the same job. For the same task. For the same task, guys. Okay. Developer indirectly loads both target and dependent classes. Come on, my dear. Nice, na boss. B. Developer indirectly loads, guys. Developer creates target and dependent classes objects. Dependent classes objects manually. Okay, using new operator. See, guys. Okay, developer assigns dependent class object to target class object. And developer manages the both target and dependent class objects. Come on. Okay. And developer dereferences the objects. Dereferences the object to make them ready for garbage collection. Mahesh, someone asking me, sir, why said indirectly? Arey, Test is equal to new test of. Are we loading class separately? No, na. In the process of creating object, JVM loads the class automatically or not? While creating any object, are you loading class separately, boss? Tell me, my dear. Date D is equal to new data. Date D is equal to new data. Are you loading class date separately? No. You are creating object. In that process, class is loaded automatically. Right now, boss? That's why I said indirectly. That's why I said indirectly. At least today you got theoretically idea why people are crazy about Spring. At least this scenario, this comparison make you to think why people are crazy about Spring. How Spring is simplifying your life. Are Spring only simplifying life this much means? What about Spring Boot? It simplifies more and more. Okay, now they are worth technology to become popular or not? They are worth technologies to become popular or not? Did I succeed in injecting this difference between core Java application development? Someone asked, sir, in Spring, can we use garbage collector explicitly? Are muddy fella, IOC container says, I take care. Nah. Why you are going? Why you are doing? You don't do that. Got it, guys? Array, in Spring, out of 100 times, maybe 1-2 times we use new operator. Most of the time, we try to enjoy container created objects. Container created objects. Come on. In core Java, out of 100 times, 90 times we create object using new operator or some other technique. Only 10 times we try to work with the JVM created ready-made objects like string array in main method ready-made object, catch block exception object ready-made object, this operator ready-made reference variable. Only few times we enjoy ready-made object. 90% time we create object in order to use the objects. Come on, guys. Come on. But when it comes to Spring application, just the reverse. 90% time. 90% time. Prashant Sharma, Spring container does not use new keyword internally. It uses reflection API to load the classes to create the objects. Are you getting my point, guys? Are you able to feel the difference, guys? In Spring, we rarely create object manually. Most of the time, we enjoy ready-made objects given by Spring container. Even for user-defined classes. Even for user-defined classes. Come on. Array, definitely, Babu. Ultimately, target needs dependent. Why? In the dependent class, some services are there to use. Instead of me doing that work, if someone says container views, container does, that means our life is simplified or not? Container is. Someone asks why Flipkart uses DTDC. Are to deliver the product, Flipkart needs DTDC services now, boss. Please listen, Babu. I am finding most of your questions are coming without listening class properly. Lack of focus. I'm writing everything. I'm speaking everything. I'm putting diagrams. Still you are not listening means I should check. I should doubt your commitment of learning. Please focus. If you listen carefully, if you follow me continuously, 10th standard student can learn Spring. 10th standard student can become Spring Boot developer. It's already proved. It's already proved. Sometimes 8th, 9th standard students also will come and learn technologies with us. Next generations are very fast, guys. In 6th, 7th standard only, they are entering into Java. Okay. So lack of focus should not be there. Focus. Okay, boss. Yeah. Are indirectly, yeah. We never load class manually in core Java applications, boss. We say new operator. In that process, class will be loaded by JVM automatically. That's the reason I said indirectly. Okay. Auto configuration. Auto configuration. No need of using XML, no need of using annotation to tell that make these classes as Spring Beans. Based on the jar files, based on the jar file that are added, it will take certain predefined classes of those jar file, makes them as Spring Beans by loading classes, by creating objects dynamically. Understanding my statement? Array system design means project design, Bob. System design means project design. Right, boss. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Still, dependency management is not over. Dependency management is not over, right? Still, lot of things are there. I hope you enjoyed session. Yeah, Prashant, right. Most of the containers uses reflection API a lot for creating objects, for loading classes, for managing objects, for calling lifecycle method. For everything, reflection API is popularly used. Things are on the track. I hope things are on the track. Those who missed initial classes, watch videos. Every terminology will be cleared. I'm spending this many days on background means try to understand importance of the background. Spring makes definitely your life easy. Spring Boot makes your life more and more easy. Right, guys. Thank you. Ayush Anand, when you make normal classes as Spring Beans, then Spring Container will take care. That means Spring Container is taking care of life cycle of Java class, means indirectly Java class has become Spring Bean. Yes, na? Right. Without making Java class as Spring Bean, Spring Container does not take care of anything. Yeah, once again, I shared links and previous classes, guys. Right, boss. Thank you. Google Classroom link will be provided once registration formalities are completed. Thank you, guys.